We in our 30s. I'ma find love to a nigga already broken by the other bitch. I really want her.
What?
I really want my bitch. You ain't my bitch. You don't know me.
Oh.
Fuck, I'm gonna meet you at 30-something. You can never know me. We in our 30s.
I ain't never been fake. What's happening? How y'all doing out there today? I hope you're having a great night. It ain't nothing about we too old. I would never fight my friend. I actually love
Atlanta has officially entered its "this can't be real life" era because what started as a casual live stream just detonated into a full-blown celebrity meltdown. So, here's the setup. Shekinah Anderson jumps on live, vibing, talking friendship and love like it's a normal Tuesday night. But then, boom, chaos enters the chat. Behind the smiles, the laughs, and those "hey y'all" greetings, a storm's brewing harder than a housewives' reunion. And get this, within hours, that very same live becomes the spark that lights Atlanta gossip blogs on fire. You're not hallucinating. The internet literally went from 0 to emergency DNA test in seconds. People in the comments are like, wait, did she just say what I think she said? TikTok's doing forensic lip reading. Twitter's playing detective. Reddit's pulling out timelines from 2017 like they're the FBI. Everyone's trying to decode one thing, what really went down between Shekinah, T.I., and Tiny. This wasn't just tea, this was scalding, lawsuit-level, career-ending espresso. Because when Atlanta royalty gets messy, it's never small. You've got betrayal, secrets, and a friendship imploding live on camera. It's basically Love and Hip-Hop Greek Tragedy Edition. But here's the part that nobody saw coming. Those innocent comments on live. They weren't random, they were foreshadowing. Like straight-up prophecy-level hints about the biggest betrayal in ATL celebrity history. You think this is dramatic now? Oh, trust me. This was just the calm before the internet hurricane. Because what dropped next would change everything.
That you are upset, but not with me. You upset with the people who keep calling you and bothering you.
No, I'm upset with you. They wouldn't be calling me if it weren't for you.
The video ain't really the issue. The video being posted up on social media.
And just like that, the ATL group chat went DEFCON1. Because the moment those leaked medical reports hit the timeline, every gossip page from the Shade Room to Lipstick Alley went into full panic mode. You could literally feel the internet's collective jaw drop. Private chats, audio clips, medical records. It's like TMZ met the FBI and decided to collab. And the names attached, Tiny, T.I., and Shekinah. That's not just gossip. That's Atlanta royalty. These three practically built the city's influencer scene. They were friendship goals, power goals, family goals, and now, suddenly, the rumors say one of them is secretly carrying the other's man's baby. You can't script that. Hollywood wishes it had this kind of plot twist. Twitter went straight to chaos mode. Wait, so Shekinah's pregnant and it's T.I.'s? Tiny better start swinging. This is what happens when you mix loyalty with lust. And of course, TikTok detectives wasted no time. People were analyzing belly angles, matching dates on hotel check-ins, and cross-referencing flight records like it was CSI Atlanta. Everyone was asking the same question. If this is true, how long has it been going on? And if Tiny's hearing about it from the internet, not from her husband or her best friend, then this isn't just betrayal. This is psychological warfare. But here's the kicker. As messy as this was already getting, that wasn't the end of it. Because when the queen of the Harris household finally spoke up, Atlanta stopped breathing. You're not ready for what Tiny said next.
She called folks talking about I'm not a friend. I'm this, I'm that. Go get her. It ain't that. We already done talked in private, see? We already done talked in private. I'm gonna show you the message I sent. I'm finna make all this shit make sense. I'm finna make it make sense right now. Because folks talking about I'm talking about her every day. Man, I'm not talking about her every day, boy. Y'all stupid as fuck. What do I gotta talk about this lady every day for?
And there it was. The digital explosion heard round the South. You know it's bad when your phone sounds like a fire alarm, because in less than an hour, hashtags took over every corner of the internet. Hashtag Shekinah pregnant, hashtag DNA for T.I., hashtag justice for Tiny, like a digital war zone where every post, every live, every messy sub-tweet was another bullet. And that clip? The one where Tiny and Shekinah were clearly going at it over the phone? Yeah, that was the match that lit the gasoline. Everyone knew this wasn't just two friends arguing. This was a friendship funeral, live-streamed. Fans were losing it in the comments. Greater than Tiny sounds done, like emotionally bankrupt done. Shekinah needs to log off before the internet eats her alive. If my bestie ever talked to me like that, I'd delete myself from Wi-Fi. And the energy online? Unforgiving. The internet doesn't do nuance, it does drama. And they picked sides faster than a reality show finale. Team Tiny had hearts and broken emojis. Team Shekinah was throwing receipts like dodgeballs. But while everyone was screaming online, one woman sat in silence, plotting her next move. Tiny, the queen of composure. The woman who's been through every rumor, every headline, every trial, both legal and emotional, until now. Because this time, it wasn't about a cheating rumor or a shady DM. This time, it was about trust. The one thing you can't buy, can't fake, and once it's gone forever. And when Tiny finally looked into that camera and said, "I want a DNA test. I deserve the truth," it wasn't just a soundbite, it was a declaration. A woman scorned, a friendship shattered, a family hanging by a thread. And if you thought the drama ended there, you're wrong. Because that single demand, it set off a chain reaction that not even T.I. could control. This is where everything really explodes.
I'm just be real. The chemistry of you and I cannot be duplicated. You could put you with somebody else, you could put me with somebody else, you ain't gonna get the same thing, man. You know what I mean? It ain't the same fireworks, it ain't the same combustion. You just can't get it.
You're so stupid.
I know it.
That's very stupid.
I hear you.
I know our relationship has too much history just to throw away.
Yeah, let me see you in this bedroom.
Boy, please. Tip just needs to step up. If it's me he wants, then he needs to show me. Show me that he's fighting for what he loves.
And just like that, the love story that once gave us Bonnie and Clyde vibes started sounding more like Joker and Harley Quinn. T.I., a man who built his empire on charisma and confidence, is suddenly out here talking about chemistry like this is some poetic movie monologue. But let's be real. At this point, the only combustion people were seeing was his marriage going up in flames. It's almost poetic. He's out here reminiscing about fireworks, while the internet's literally lighting torches and dragging him across every platform known to man. And Tiny? You can hear the exhaustion in her voice. That "boy, please" wasn't just sarcasm. That was years of holding everything together, finally snapping. It's the sound of a woman who's done being the ride or die for a man who won't even stay on the road. The fans picked up on it immediately. She's been over it. He's trying to romanticize betrayal. Not him quoting Shakespeare after a DNA scandal. And just when people thought Tiny might forgive him again, because let's be honest, this couple's been through more plot twists than an HBO drama, she shocked everyone by breaking the cycle. She didn't post a cryptic quote. She didn't sub-tweet. She went live, tears and all, and said it plain. The video ain't the issue. The betrayal is, you could feel it, the heartbreak, the disbelief, the end of an era. Because sometimes love doesn't die quietly. Sometimes it goes out screaming, with millions watching. And what happened next? Oh, it wasn't just heartbreak anymore. It was a full-blown investigation, because Tiny's tears set off something way bigger than just gossip. They triggered the biggest digital witch hunt Atlanta had ever seen. And you're not ready for the receipts that surfaced next.
I know that you are upset, but not with me. You upset with the people who keep calling you and bothering
No, I'm
you.
upset with you. They wouldn't be calling me if it weren't for you.
And this is where the internet lost its collective mind. Because when those receipts dropped, and I'm talking time-stamped medical reports matching hotel reservations, it stopped being rumor and started sounding like a true crime episode narrated by betrayal itself. The timeline fit too perfectly. That one weekend I just happened to be out of town without Tiny? Yeah, turns out that might have been more than just business. The math was mathing, and it was ugly. Fans went full detective mode. So you're telling me the baby was conceived exactly when he was in Atlanta solo? Somebody get Maury on speed dial, not the receipts syncing like an iCloud update. And then, silence. T.I., the man who usually claps back within minutes, suddenly disappeared. No posts, no cryptic quotes, not even a sub-tweet, just digital crickets. And if you followed T.I. long enough, you know silence speaks louder than any statement. The streets of Atlanta were buzzing. Why he quiet now? What did Tiny hear that made her faint? What was on that phone call that had doors slamming like a Tyler Perry finale? Meanwhile, Tiny, the woman who's held her family, her image, her empire together through every scandal imaginable, was seen being escorted out, crying. No filters, no PR spin, just raw pain. and people felt it. That was the moment fans realized this wasn't just gossip. This was a marriage imploding in real time. Then, like a script straight out of chaos, the leaks didn't stop. They multiplied. Audio clips, alleged text logs, friends of friends going live to spill exclusive inside info. It was internet wildfire, and everyone was throwing gasoline. And while Tiny's heart was breaking in private, the courtroom doors were about to swing open, because the truth was about to be proven in ink, DNA, and devastation. You thought the scandal was wild already? You're not even halfway through the storm yet. What came next ended careers, friendships, and Atlanta's power couple dream for good.
You left and went and got a house somewhere else.
Because you started cheating. Yes, sir. For those who don't understand, Tip had some infidelities with a girl who I hired, and that girl is one of the reasons why I got my own house. I ain't intertwining my souls with no mother.
Hey, look, man, let me tell you
I ain't doing none of that. It's totally different from what you're doing.
You done had your you was out with this dude that you know I don't.
And just like that, Atlanta's royal empire officially crumbled, live in HD and trending worldwide. This wasn't just a verdict, it was a cultural earthquake. The words 99.9% certainty echoed through every news feed like a death sentence for the Harris dynasty. Cameras flashing, reporters screaming, fans crying. It looked less like a courtroom and more like a season finale that no one was emotionally prepared for. Because when that envelope opened, it didn't just confirm a child, it confirmed every suspicion the internet had been whispering for months. T.I., the self-proclaimed king of the South, stood frozen. Tiny, the queen of composure, broke. And Shekinah, the best friend turned scandal headline, sobbed as the crowd outside chanted, "DNA doesn't lie! Justice for Tiny!" TikTok was already editing courtroom clips into montages, complete with sad R&B tracks and betrayal quotes. Twitter was in flames. One user posted, "He built an empire, then burned it down for a secret." Another said, "This isn't gossip anymore. It's Greek tragedy with Instagram filters." Sponsors pulled out within days. T.I.'s endorsements? Gone. Networks paused his shows. His label went silent. And as for Tiny, she didn't crumble. She transformed. She released a statement so powerful it could have been a mic drop from heaven itself. "Greater than I will rise. I built my life from pain before, and I'll do it again." Crowds gathered outside her home, holding signs reading, "Queen Tiny Forever." She became more than a headline. She became a symbol, a survivor, a woman who turned betrayal into backbone. Meanwhile, Shekinah tried to plead her case online, crying, shaking, saying, "He told me he'd leave Tiny." But by then, the internet had already decided. They didn't see a victim, they saw a villain. And T.I., he went ghost. No interviews, no posts, no comeback bars, just silence, the kind that screams guilt. In just weeks, he lost nearly $30 million in deals. The man who once rapped about loyalty was now the face of betrayal. And that's when Tiny dropped the final bombshell, a divorce filing, with full custody, half the Harris estate, and, allegedly, a tell-all memoir on the way. The empire that started with love and hustle ended with heartbreak and hashtags. The story of T.I., Tiny, and Shekinah Anderson didn't just shake Atlanta, it rewrote the rulebook on fame, friendship, and betrayal. Because if this saga taught us anything, it's that secrets have expiration dates. And when they rot, they take everything with them. Atlanta just imploded in real time. What started as a normal evening turned into a full-blown celebrity disaster that no one saw coming. The kind of scandal that makes you double-check if you're watching the news or an episode of some unreleased reality show. A live stream meant to be harmless, a casual chat, and suddenly the whole city is on edge. One moment, Shekinah Anderson is talking about friendship, love, and staying real. The next, she's the main character in a story no one wants to star in. Within hours, her words, raw, unfiltered, emotional, spread across every feed like wildfire. People clipped, reposted, and analyzed every second, trying to figure out what was really being said between the lines. There was tension in her tone, exhaustion in her voice, and maybe, just maybe, a hidden message that something much deeper was going on. The internet didn't wait for facts. It started building theories, timelines, and accusations before sunrise. Then came the first spark, a whisper, a screenshot, a private chat leaked online. And just like that, Atlanta's most iconic trio, Tiny Harris, T.I., and Shekinah, were caught in the center of chaos. For years, they'd been inseparable. Music, business, laughter, loyalty. They weren't just friends, they were family. But fame has a way of turning every secret into a storyline, and this time, the internet wasn't letting it slide. When reports surfaced claiming Shekinah was pregnant, it felt like gossip at first, just another rumor floating in the endless sea of online drama. But when that rumor attached itself to T.E.'s name, everything changed. The streets of Atlanta went silent for about 3 seconds, and then social media exploded. Tweets, TikToks, Reddit threads, everyone had a take. Screenshots popped up claiming to show conversations, dates, even voice messages, and all of them pointed to one conclusion too wild to believe, that T.I., the king of the South himself, might be the father of Shekinah's unborn child. Tiny, the woman who'd stood beside him through every rise and fall, stayed quiet at first, too quiet, the calm before the storm. But when she finally spoke, the world listened. She went live, emotional but composed, voice shaking as she demanded the truth. "I want a DNA test," she said, her tone steady, but her eyes told a different story. Betrayal, heartbreak, disbelief, the kind of pain that doesn't come from rumors. It comes from reality. This was no longer just entertainment. It was real life unraveling in front of millions. Every fan who'd ever believed in love, loyalty, and second chances was watching their faith disintegrate on screen. The hashtags came like thunder: Shekinah, pregnant, DNA for T.I., justice for Tiny, and each one carried a different kind of rage. The city was divided. The internet was vicious. People took sides, analyzed old interviews, and pulled up decade-old photos like forensic evidence. Tiny, who had always been the steady one, the forgiving one, was done pretending. For years, she'd stood by T.I. through infidelity rumors, legal drama, and public humiliation, always finding a way to forgive. But this time, it wasn't about fame. It was about family, trust, and betrayal that hit closer than anyone could have imagined. Behind the scenes, insiders whispered about cracks in the marriage, quiet arguments, emotional distance, and Shekinah, once Tiny's closest friend, always somewhere in the middle. People thought it was harmless until it wasn't, because once those leaked messages started circulating, the math started adding up in the worst way possible. Then came the so-called receipts, screenshots of medical records, conception timelines, anonymous accounts posting what looked like hotel booking confirmations under T.I.'s name. It all lined up too perfectly. The weekend he was supposedly on a business trip, the same window listed in the medical documents. Fans didn't need confirmation. They connected the dots themselves. Tiny's heartbreak turned into rage. She confronted T.I., and neighbors reportedly heard the argument, shouting, slamming doors, voices breaking under the weight of betrayal. Minutes later, she was seen leaving the house in tears. Witnesses claimed she fainted outside, overwhelmed by what she'd just heard. The details spread faster than the truth ever could. Meanwhile, T.I., usually quick to clap back or deny rumors, went completely silent. No Instagram posts, no interviews, no statements. For a man who's built his career on having something to say about everything, that silence was deafening. People started calling it his digital confession, because sometimes saying nothing says everything. And then, the story that already felt like a movie turned into a courtroom drama. Cameras packed the courthouse. Reporters lined up for miles. Protesters stood outside with signs that read, "DNA doesn't lie," and "Justice for Tiny." Inside, 3 people once bound by love and loyalty sat like strangers. Tiny, T.I., and Shekinah, each facing the fallout of choices that couldn't be undone. The world stopped when the audio leaked. A voice, allegedly T.I.'s, saying, "Don't worry, Shekinah. If this comes out, I'll handle Tiny. Just trust me." The courtroom gasped. Tiny broke down crying, yelling, "You destroyed me!" before collapsing into her team's arms. For years, she had carried her husband's image, his reputation, his empire. Now, all of it was shattering in public. When the clerk opened the envelope and read the results, you could have heard a pin drop. Clifford Harris is the biological father of Shekinah Anderson's child. With 99.9% certainty, it was official. No more rumors, no more denial, just cold, scientific truth. The courtroom erupted. Tiny screamed. Shekinah cried. I froze in silence, eyes blank. career collapsing in real time. Outside, chaos. Reporters sprinting to file breaking news, fans crying, cameras flashing. Within minutes, hashtags like #DNA bombshell, #cancel TI, and #tinybroken were trending worldwide. This wasn't just gossip, it was history. The downfall of Atlanta's power couple, captured and dissected by millions. Sponsors started pulling out, endorsements vanished overnight, networks quietly shelved projects featuring TI. His label stopped promoting his music. He went from King of the South to public enemy in record time. For a man who built his empire on confidence and control, the silence was his loudest statement yet. Tiny, on the other hand, began to rise from the ashes. Through heartbreak, she found strength. Her statement, "I will rise, I will fight, I built my life from pain before, and I'll do it again," went viral, turning her from victim to survivor in the public eye. Crowds gathered outside her home with signs of support. To fans, she wasn't just Tiny the singer anymore, she was Tiny the Phoenix. But for Shekinah, the fallout was brutal. She went live in tears, claiming she'd been manipulated, that T.I. promised he'd leave Tiny, that she never meant for any of this to happen. But the public wasn't sympathetic. Comments flooded in, calling her a betrayer, a backstabber, a homewrecker. The hate became unbearable. She deleted her accounts and vanished from social media altogether. The woman once known for her humor and honesty became the face of scandal and regret. Tiny filed for divorce not long after, citing public humiliation and repeated betrayal. The court documents leaked, confirming what fans already knew. The Harris empire was over. Decades of love, business, and family ties reduced to headlines and heartbreak. Insiders claimed Tiny began writing a memoir detailing everything: the betrayal, the confrontation, the truth behind the cameras. And that book, if it ever comes out, might be the final nail in the coffin for the legacy they built together. Within months, T.I. reportedly lost close to $30 million in deals and opportunities. His empire, once built on loyalty, crumbled under the weight of his own choices. And Tiny, the woman who had once been known as his shadow, was now standing alone, stronger, wiser, and done with being quiet. The story of T.Y., Tiny, and Shekinah isn't just a scandal, it's a lesson about loyalty, fame, and how quickly love can turn into destruction when secrets start to surface. It's a reminder that the higher you rise, the harder you fall when truth finally catches up. Tiny became the face of survival, T.I., a warning, and Shekinah, a ghost of what betrayal looks like when friendship and fame collide. Their story became a cautionary tale about what happens when loyalty, ego, and temptation mix in the spotlight. Because at the end of the day, the truth doesn't set everyone free. Sometimes it burns everything to the ground. So, what do you think? Was Shekinah a victim or the architect of her own downfall? Was T.I. a man caught in his own lies? Or did fame corrupt everything he touched? And can Tiny ever truly rebuild from the ashes of everything she lost? Let me know your thoughts below. And don't go anywhere. Click the next video you see on your screen for more of the celebrity chaos, betrayals, and stories Hollywood never wants you to hear. See you in the next one.